With Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 adding surprise characters to every DLC pack, from the Future Saga Chapter 1 having Z Broly that transforms into Super Broly, and Chapter 2 having a promotional Daima Goku character, I'm curious if Future Saga Chapter 3 will actually finally include other characters from similar Bandai Namco Dimps products, such as Shallot from Dragon Ball Legends. All the work has already been done from Shallot, from the attack animations to the transformation animations to the super attack animations. The only feature to add left for him is the ability to swap forms as well as do many other character super attacks, potentially making him a rare custom partner exclusive character. Hello everyone, it's me again, Steve Dojo here, back to more Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and I wanted to quickly talk about Future Saga Chapter 3 and 4's potential ability to add Shallot as a Future Saga DLC character. Now keep in mind, we have had two other surprise characters, the first being Z Broly, who we literally didn't get told about until the actual day of the release of the DLC, and the second being Daima Goku, only because he's a promotional character we got told about him, but other than that, he doesn't match the theme of the rest of that DLC pack, being Gods of Destructions and Jiren. So I know for a fact, Shallot, being a character that Bandai Namco literally owns, this isn't like Shueisha trying to struggle to add Ultra Ego or something else to Xenoverse 2. This is just Bandai Namco Dimps' other game. Dimps literally does all the stuff for Dragon Ball Legends. All they have to do is just simply make a higher definition version of Shallot and just drop him in Xenoverse 2, and all the work is done. Keep in mind, Xenoverse 2 already uses some Dragon Ball Legends animations in some of the characters' attack animations, especially with the newer DLC characters, so this wouldn't take a lot of work to do, and he's definitely, probably the most realistic surprise character to get added to the game, other than potentially maybe Margin Android 21, since, again, they're on good terms with Dragon Ball FighterZ, they can just add 21 whenever they feel like it. I'm very sure they can get away with actually adding Shallot in Xenoverse without like too many issues, or if any issues, because Shallot is a character that, again, he's not like restricted by some manga kind of thing. He's another video game character. It should be very easy to just pull Shallot from his own game and put him in this game, the same way they did the Adventure 21. I think the only thing they would need is literally permission from the studio that handles that, but it's also just Dimps, so it's just a matter of when they get permission, maybe from Bandai. Since Bandai is the publisher, it would be up to Bandai to decide if Shallot should actually end up in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. They'd be like, hey, is it profitable? Is there a reason for this? Would it take too much time to add Shallot? Blah, blah, blah. And since Shallot is famous for his transformations, he would definitely take more development time than most Xenoverse 2 characters, because you'd have to make a transformation animation from him. Yeah, you could just port the one over from Dragon Ball Legends, but they probably have to change some things, maybe like animation detail or the coloring effect of stuff, etc., right? But this wouldn't be the first time they've moved something from Dragon Ball Legends over to Xenoverse 2. I think a very good example is all the way back when Evolution Blue Vegeta came out. One of his specific combos uses the Ki Blast attack animation from Dragon Ball Legends as the, final hit of his combo. And it's the exact animation. It's not even changed at all, right? It's very different from the Xenoverse 2 Ki Blast animation, which is now just known as the Ki Cancel animation, where the character puts one hand down, another hand forward, and they just shoot Ki Blasts. This specific one is fired with two Ki Blasts just being spammed like Vegeta's technique kind of style. So I think they actually could do it. I don't think they even need permission to do it. It's just a matter of when do they feel like doing it. And since we obviously know, one, Xenoverse 2's DLC is wrapping up for a fact, and two, Dragon Ball games are going to want more success now than ever, since stuff like, Sparking Zero isn't doing the best, let's just say. I think they'll definitely consider putting Shallot in the game 100%. Now, will he be an ultra supervillain? I don't think so. Shallot, by far, has some of the most unique stuff in the game to add. They don't have to make him ultra supervillain. I imagine really easy moves to do for him would obviously be, a few set of unique melee animations based on, or strike attacks based on his melee animations, especially when he changes Super Saiyan forms, or even some moves from Shallot they could get inspired by. They could maybe make his ultimate attack that and make a super attack wild cannon. Who knows, right? But Shallot has his own unique moves already, his own unique animations, his own character. He's not just like a Goku clone, right? You can't just like copy and paste moves on him, although Shallot is known for copying moves. So who knows, right? If they add Shallot to the game, I feel like they'd do something kind of cool where he'd be a custom partner only, so you could always customize his moves, right? I think that's a very interesting way to tackle Shallot. Make him a custom partner only. His only preset would be one that you customize. So you choose if you want him to have Super Saiyan God, or Super Saiyan Blue, and then you also choose the moves that he has based on his forms, and you can pick his build, because obviously if you pick a Super Saiyan God Shallot, you're not going to want him to be a Ki Blaster, right? You're going to want him to be a basic attacker. So I think there's many interesting ways to actually tackle Shallot as a character. Now, the way I'm saying it, I'm being very serious. I don't think Bandai Namco will ever do it that interesting. There's no way they ever do it. There's no way they ever do Shallot that interesting. But I can remain optimistic. Okay, I can remain optimistic that they would give Shallot the treatment he deserves. However, I do think there's a good chance of him getting in the game now, especially because they are looking for characters to add in, and Dragon Ball, especially now more than ever, needs to do well, since Sparking Zero doesn't look like it's going to have a long lifespan with, you know, the current course of it. With the way Sparky Zero is looking right now, it's probably going to last like a year max, especially because we know the next DLC and the last DLC is coming out this year, and there's nothing else they can possibly add to the game other than what-if content. Now, obviously, if they add Shallot, I'm not expecting them to add Giblet, and I don't expect them to add the fusion either, Shallot. That's just not likely. Shallot is less popular than Shallot, for God's sakes. And also the fact that it'd be weird to just have like a fusion character and then not have the either part of the fusion. That would just be weird. I think it's just more important to have the main character Shallot only, especially because, again, you can just give any of Shallot's moves to Shallot, since it's just a fusion of a guy fusing with his brother, for God's sakes. It's basically Shallot squared. I don't know how you want me to describe it. So they don't have to add Shallot. They could add Giblet maybe, but I don't think they'll do that because Giblet is just so easy to just make a Shallot skin anyways. Not that Xenoverse has skins, but you know what I mean. He's just easy to make a skin rather than an actual like playable character, since you'd have to give him a new set of animations and attacks, and we already know Bandai Namco Dimps ain't willing to put that much effort in for Xenoverse 2. So yeah, they might give Giblet a dark power. Maybe Giblet will be a boss character, like how for some reason Second Form Cell is a boss character but not a playable character still. It's been like since Breakers came out, which I think is like 2 damn years now, and we still don't have a Second Form Cell. He's in the files for the game, but we don't have him playable. That's just insane, you know. So I don't know if they'll ever do Shallot. I don't think they'll ever do Giblet as a character because he's just, you know, he's just like pure evil. I don't think he'll even be a boss character, and if he does, he definitely won't be playable, just like Second Form himself. So I'm thinking what they'll most likely do, again, if they ever add Shallot to the game, right? Keep in mind, I think maybe I was wrong about the DLC formula. The DLC formula might actually include one surprise character when it comes into a part of this. I've said this before, right? Again, we get characters that we are advertised and told about, like, Goku Black, Vegeta, etc. Then you always have a surprise character like DBS, or not DBS, but DBZ Transforming Broly, that they literally only told us about on the day of the release of the DLC. And then Daima Goku, who we know is a promotional character, so they have to advertise him, right? But he's still a surprise character. He doesn't make sense of the rest of that DLC pack, because the rest of the DLC pack is Gods of Destructions and Jiren, which Jiren, has a relation to the God of Destruction of that DLC. But then Daima Goku isn't even in the story, because he's obviously like a surprise character. He's for promotional stuff. He's not supposed to be there. So I'm thinking that for DLC 3 and 4, when they do these secret characters, they're supposed to be surprise characters, right? So I'm thinking Shallot still has a really good chance of getting in just because of the surprise character nature of the DLCs. One thing is always consistent. One enemy has to be a DBS antagonist. First was Goku Black. Second was Jiren. So the third has to be either Golden Frieza or Broly for the last 2 DLCs. And we'll naturally get 2 more surprise characters with those DLCs as well. So are the surprise characters going to be, Shallot? Are they going to be Android 21 margin form? It could be anything, right? It could even be characters who just don't have transformations or their base forms in the game. Like, that's what Broly is. Broly is just, hey, we don't have his base form in the game, so there you go. Base Broly. So it really could happen to just like anyone, right? It could happen to anyone, but I'm holding out hope for Shallot because that just makes the most sense to me, I feel like. Either way, I think that's a pretty solid place to wrap this thing up. Again, you guys let me know who you think the surprise characters are going to be for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2's Future Saga DLC 3 or 4. But I'm definitely expecting Shallot because not only is Shallot's voice actor readily available, both of them, by the way, the English and the Japanese voice actor are readily available. Shallot is a character that they can literally just port from one of their own games that they already own to another game that they already own. Not to mention those games use similar models, assets, animations all the time. So I feel like he'd be the easiest one to add. Even if they were feeling lazy, he would still get into the game because he's already basically done. They just have to make a higher definition model for him, and that's really it. But either way, I think that's a solid place to end the video. Again, let me know what you think by leaving a like on the video, subscribing, and leave a comment down below as to what characters you think have a good chance of getting in, and that'll be it. Love you all, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, and peace, peace, peace.